today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I made $5,000 on Depop over the past 6 months. I just joined 6 months ago and started from scratch and learned along the way. So I'm going to be sharing some of the knowledge that I've built up through my own experience. I'll be going into what my most profitable item was that I sold. I'll also be going into what my least profitable item was that sold, kind of reviewing some of the patterns that I've dealt with. And yeah, I'm also going to be sharing some of my tips and tricks with you. So let's get started. I started out selling on Depop because I have always had this weird attachment to my clothes where I can't get rid of anything, and I had my friends all told me I had so many more clothes than any of them, and I felt like I had nothing because I never wore any of it because I just couldn't get rid of it, but I just didn't want to wear it. And so I just have had all these clothes stockpiled. And so I picked 10 items that I was willing to part with, which still, it felt hard to part with these 10 items, but I hadn't worn them in 2 years. And so I was like, just do it, let's see if anything sells, we'll just try. So I uploaded them, and within a week, a few items sold, and I was like, these were the items that I decided were ugly and I could let go of, and people bought them pretty quick. And so this kind of inspired me to start selling clothes, not from my own collection, but I used this money to buy new clothes at the thrift store to sell because I love thrifting, but I buy everything that I like instead of buying stuff that I'm just gonna wear. So this time I bought everything that I liked, but with the intention of selling it instead of keeping it. And with this different mindset, I was getting more creative with the things that I was buying, because I could get things that were out of my comfort zone or out of my style, just pieces that I loved and excited me and I needed to hone somewhere else. And so I would buy it and then I style it and have my little photo shoot and upload it, and it became a really fun experience to kind of do the whole thing. And so this kind of bred my passion, and I was like, all right, I kind of want to do this for real, I'm gonna take this seriously. So I went through a few months where I was I would wake up, take photos, upload them every single day, and it was I was uploading 5 to 10 things every single day, acquiring new ones throughout the week. It was just ongoing, making sales. It was awesome. I was making so much money. And then I got a little bit lazy and I started thrifting more than I was photographing and uploading. So I acquired a large inventory of stuff. I wasn't uploading. I spent all of my money on thrifting, and so I needed to catch up and start uploading this stuff that I was buying. And so I had a few weeks, maybe a month or so of being lazy. I wasn't uploading a lot. My sales started to go down a lot. I would upload every once in a while. It would make my sales go up for a little bit, and then I would stop being active, my sales would go back down. And I started to realize that being active on the app directly correlates to making sales on the app. And I'd seen this in videos and I was like, okay, I don't really think they know, but they do. It's kind of crazy. I'll go into it a little bit more in my tips later, but I think this is crazy. I've noticed that when I upload a batch of new items, it makes my old items start to sell. Maybe the new items don't even sell, but the old items that have just been sitting on my page suddenly will start to sell because I uploaded new items. So I don't know how those correlate at all, but somehow that brings me more sales. So we'll go over that in the tips and tricks part of the video. So let me go back into my story a little bit more. So yeah, at one point I started to keep track of my sales in Airtable. I wanted to figure out how much I was profiting because I'm paying for shipping and I'm paying Depop fees and PayPal or Stripe fees, and sometimes I pay for shipping, sometimes the customer does. I just kind of wanted to log and keep track of all this stuff because I'm also thrifting items, so I have to keep in mind how much I paid for it in the first place. And so I developed this chart that is my life. It has all this information. This is how I have the numbers that I will be showing you in the video. I'll include a little segment right here, you know. My laptop's charging right now, so once it is done, I will be showing you some stuff on the web. But until then, let me look at my notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I guess we'll do these 4 tips. So these tips and tricks I kind of just like came up with on my own. I watched some Depop videos a while ago, you know, when I started out, you know, trying to figure out the tips and tricks. And so these are my personal tips and tricks that I have just decided based on my experience, what I think is like actually true and facts and what you should like pay attention to, because there's a lot of like random fake information out there for people trying to get views. And I am just gonna tell you what has given me success. So I have 4 main tips. I'll tell you the 4 of them and then we'll like go into depth on each of them a little bit. So being active makes a difference. Touched on that a little bit before. We'll touch on it again in a few minutes. How you take your photos doesn't really matter. It does, but not really. And you're losing money if you ship with Depop. Don't be scared of shipping outside of Depop. You should be scared of shipping with Depop, okay? And styling the clothes is not necessary, but it is super helpful when you want to make sales and like establish your page and stuff. So first point, being active makes a difference. So there are a few ways that I have noticed being active has helped me. So refreshing your posts every day. It's hard to do it every day. I don't even do it every day, but tell yourself to do it every day and maybe you'll do it like 5 or 4 days out of the week, and it will significantly help you. Like I'll sit there and not be active for a few days and then I'll go and refresh my posts and I start getting a ton of activity on my page when I had none the past days prior to that when I wasn't doing anything. So I highly recommend doing that. Honestly, you should do it once a day, like start to finish every single item. Like just watch TV, just, you know, do it. It's tedious, it's so easy though. Like I don't know why I'm not doing it every day. Like I don't know what my excuse is. I'm sitting here telling you to do it. So I'm gonna start doing it too. But anywho, second thing that is really important is uploading new posts frequently. So if you don't have a ton of inventory, maybe upload like 1 new item every few days. If you have like a few things, maybe like go get some new inventory. I don't know if you didn't think about that. It's very helpful. I just uploaded like 2 or 3 things like yesterday. No, 2 days ago, I uploaded like 3 or 4 items after not uploading for a long time, you know, relatively active, haven't made any sales for like a week. Uploaded a few things. Overnight, I made 2 sales on items that have been sitting on my page for over a month. Coincidence? I think not. Anywho, so another thing that is so important with being active, respond quickly when people message you. Whether it is about sizing, about the tag, about anything, just check it out and respond to them quickly, because they're gonna lose their interest most likely if you don't respond within like, you know, an hour or like a few hours or within the same day, because, you know, they might find something else, order something else. If you respond a few days later, their impulse to buy it is gonna be gone. Just try to respond quickly and they might just respond and like say, okay, I'll buy it right now. Like, can you do this deal or whatever? Like, just respond quickly. You'll see people will buy it right after you answer their question sometimes. Or sometimes people will be really annoying and they'll message you a ton of questions and then never buy it. And personally, I respond anyways. I just take those and I'm like, I could have made a sale and I didn't, but at least I tried. So that is what you should do. Okay, how you take photos doesn't matter. This is a bold statement, I know, but people don't really care about your photos to an extent because they just care about the item. So what is really important is that the item is displayed well. How do you display the item well? Lighting, staging. Staging is as simple as just like, you know, getting the whole item in the frame, showing kind of the crop, you know, doing some cool stuff that might make it look cool, not necessary. whatever. Lighting is important because they want to be able to see the color and the texture and the quality of the item. Standing in front of a window works super well. Natural sunlight is great. In the summertime, I was, wow. In the summer, I was taking a bag of clothes and my little selfie tripod stand for my phone to the park. I would go find a really remote area, put on the item, go do a little photo shoot, go back to my remote area, change outfits, do the photo shoot. I would be sweating and dying, trying to like not make the clothes dirty because I'm like so hot, but like making it work because that sunlight, oh, it's beautiful. I guess moral of the story, outdoors is a great place to do photos. It is winter right now, so I've been doing it inside. I got some like fancy studio lights and a backdrop, and like I'm digging it, but my only thing is the lighting changes sometimes, and so like all the blues in the background, sometimes they're like a little different. Most people probably don't care. It hurts me at my core. I think I just need to be better at editing photos, TBH, because yeah. So that's just like what I'm dealing with right now. But you don't need any fancy lighting, anything like that. Stand in front of a window, honestly, is my top recommendation. Just like make sure you have like a nice kind of clean background behind you. You are losing money if you ship with Depop. Here is why. First of all, with bundles, if they buy 2 items, Depop is automatically gonna go up 1 weight in the shipping, and sometimes they charge you more than you needed to pay on shipping. And this is annoying because you can't adjust the weight after, you're just like locked in paying that much. And I've had this happen so many times when I had the 650 weight and then they buy something that's 350 weight, and then it could have been the 650 weight still, and then it ups to the 1050 weight, and you're like, I just lost so much money on shipping. It has happened 1 too many times. You should switch right now. So here's another reason pirate ship is better. When you ship with Depop, you're locked into that package weight because you select a random weight when you upload the item. At least I do. I didn't have a scale for a while. I was just clicking on a weight that I assumed it was. And then you get the label and you stick it in there and ship it at whatever weight that is with no idea. Your package could be sent back to you, and it happened to me one time. Sent back to me and it went to the wrong address, and so I had to hunt down this package worth $60 because I had no idea what I was doing and shipped it with the totally wrong weight. It ended up being like 3 pounds because it was a 4-item bundle. It was like 3 pounds and I shipped it like it was like under a pound. It was a nightmare. I ended up having to pay another like $12 in shipping to get it sent. Oh, it was a disaster, but she was happy with it. She didn't leave me a review at all, so that was fine. No good, no bad. But that was a nightmare situation and you want to avoid it, and I blame Depop shipping for it because I was stuck with that label even though I knew my package weighed a lot more than it did. So yeah, and with pirate ship, it sounds all scary, but all you need is a scale and then you can weigh your items. And as soon as, I swear to you, as soon as you get a scale and start weighing your items, you'll realize you've been lowballing the weight of everything. Maybe you've been highballing it, I don't know. I was lowballing it because I didn't want to spend as much money on shipping. I was lowballing everything, and I'm shocked only 1 of my packages got returned to me. So many of the other ones were overweight and got delivered anyway, so I just can't even believe I was risking it like that. So just don't do that. Don't do that to your shop. Just save yourself the hiccups. So, oh yeah, and then my final point. Pirate ship is so much cheaper. Like the shipping prices on Depop are like set at whatever rate, like cool, but like even their set rate for those weights is higher than it would be on pirate ship. Pirate ship shipping varies based on where it's going. So like, I live in Ohio. When the most expensive packages I send are to California because that's like all the way across, the US. California is where most of my packages go, and they're the most expensive going there. But still cheaper than if I were to use Depop shipping. So if that says anything. Anywho, that's enough on that point. My final point, styling the clothes is not necessary, but it is very helpful. This is because people like don't really care if you style it or not, but some people need to be inspired to really like want the item. If they see, like, for example, an ugly item styled in a really cool way, it's no longer an ugly item because they're like, wow, I want to style it in this way. So for example, I style a lot of my like, what do you call them? Slip dresses, like lingerie dresses. I'll throw a turtleneck under, maybe tights on under, and model it like that because it looks like a cute princessy wintry dress, and it's just like a lingerie dress, and it's, you know, a more appropriate way to style it on your page, but it makes it look really fashionable and it makes people want to buy it. So I highly recommend trying that. Also just pairing, like, if you're doing a crop top or a tee with like cool pattern bottoms that show like a little bit, you know, something just fun that adds to it and makes it more exciting and makes someone want the item because they want it to look like it looks in your picture. So yeah, and then flat lays. Most people talk so much shit on flat lays. I mean, I don't love flat lays, honestly. I would say don't do them, but flat lays are harder to do than like modeling pictures. So if you have a method and you're really good at flat lays, like, keep doing it. Like, if it's working, keep going. Just make sure it's consistent. The only thing with flat lays is that you don't know how it fits on your body, and so it's just really important to include measurements with your flat lays, but they'll sell, you know what I mean? And they'll get featured on the Explore page. Hanger pics, flat lays, like, people say that they won't, Depop says that they won't, and then every freaking day there's flat lays and hanger pics on the Explore page, and I have yet to be featured.
So it's been about a week since I filmed the first part of this video, and I just wanted to follow up because I have noticed a lot of success since I have been reposting my items every single day. So I've been religious about reposting them every day. I wake up and I repost them, sometimes do it again at night, but mostly just one time a day. And I sold some old items, I sold some new items, but the craziest thing, which blew my mind, was I got featured on the Explore page. Like, in the middle of the night, I woke up to like hundreds of notifications, and it was this purse that has been on my page for months. This has been sitting on my page for months. Pictures of it weren't fantastic. I had it priced at $30, and after just a week of me refreshing my listings every single day, I got featured on the Explore page. And I've had Depop for like 6 months. I was starting to think it was impossible to get featured on the Explore page and that the hacks didn't mean anything. But I literally think that reposting every single day makes your items pop up at the top, which makes them more likely to select it for the Explore page. So, final tip, I guess, is that being active also helps you get featured on the Explore page.
So we're gonna go over my first sale, my least profitable sale, and my most profitable sale. And throughout that, you'll see some of the different backgrounds that I've done throughout my Depop career. So we have this brick background, which I really liked at the time, but I'm like super over this open background, which is what I had before I started doing the blue backgrounds. Blah blah. I did a very short phase with this pink thing. Terribly, I don't even want to look at it. I have this like fur thing that I got at the thrift store I've been using for like purses and stuff, which like works pretty well. And yeah, I did a few photo shoots in my friend's art studio, which they have like a big window, which worked like really well. Flat lay, I know. Yeah, blah 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 blah. I went through a phase where I did like a ton of photography outside. I think we're about to get to it. Yeah, here it is. I was like going to the park with a bag and a ton of clothes and just like taking pictures. These I actually took on my roof. I brought a clothing rack onto the roof because I needed the natural light. So I was standing on the roof to get the natural lighting for these ones. So I built this kind of crazy chart, and it has the item that sold. I put pictures of it, status, because I have some inventory in here too. I also organized it based on category, sale number, if it was in a bundle or not. And here's where we get into the numbers. We have the profit overall, and then in the next column, it's the price that the customer paid the amount I paid for it in the thrift store. If this category is empty, it means that it was just for my personal collection. Depop fee that I paid, PayPal fee that I paid, or Stripe fee, because about halfway down the list I got like approved or invited to do Stripe payments, so I use Stripe payments now. We have the shipping price in this column, the weight, destination, and then I go into other random information that is not relevant. So yes, so I guess I'll first go over the totals. So my total profit is at $2,819. This is because a lot of the money that comes in goes towards shipping, fees, more fees, the original item that I had bought, like how much I spent on it, and then you're left with the profit. So my profit amounts are a lot different than the amounts that the customer is paying. So let's go into that a little bit. So customers have paid a total of $4,968 on clothes and shipping at my store. From that, I have received $2,819. So $5,000 came in, $2,000 went back out, so I got $3,000. So we will talk about what that $2,000 was spent on. So $729 was spent at the thrift store. Depop fees, I paid $489.74 to Depop in fees. They made that by just owning this app, just sitting back. And I didn't even make that many sales. Like they made so much money off of me. Like they are making so much money. Anyways, PayPal fees, I paid $160.89 to PayPal. Stripe fees, $43.77. And then shipping, I have spent $755.52 on shipping because I support my post office. Wow, I love supporting the post office. That makes me happy. So we will go into, this was my first sale, these Lululemon shorts. My old roommate gave them to me because I don't know, she just gave them to me and they never fit me, so it was easy for me to let go of those. Second sale, these high-waisted trouser shorts. Okay, these are super cute. I love them, but they just didn't fit me anymore, so. These acid wash vintage shorts. These were super, super cool. My friend was gonna sell them on Depop like years ago and I bought them from her and they weren't really my style, but I was like, these are super Depop, you know, when I was starting out. So I sold them, they sold very quickly. Made $25 on those. So yes, boring. So now we will see what item I made the most money on. My lowest profiting item was this Nike tank top and I profited 65 cents and it sold for $6 and it was part of a bundle. The next lowest profiting, I profited 90 cents and it sold for $10. It was part of a bundle. These shorts, it was part of that bundle that got lost in the mail and I paid a ton for shipping, so that is why. Yeah, the tank wasn't part of that bundle. And then the next lowest profit that I made, $122 I profited off of selling it for $11.90. It was this backpack tassel purse, which I thought was really ugly, but my boyfriend thought it was like a cool festival bag and like he has good taste, so I was like, okay, I'll get it. But it was a really ugly purse and I'm not surprised it didn't sell, so whatever, I didn't care about that one. So yeah, some of the other stuff, you know, tank tops, shorts, you know, just some like random stuff I didn't profit on. This dress, this bachelorette party tank, just random stuff. So let's check out what I profited the most on because that's way more exciting. So the most I profited on an item was, of course I didn't update this, these shoes. I will pull them up. So my most profited item, this is kind of a funny story, is these shoes. So my mom got these shoes for me for Christmas, and they're like these designer shoes from New York, and she like went on a whim and got them. I like never wore them, but then I found them at the thrift store with a black heel instead of this red heel, because the red heel like was throwing me off. I don't know, I like monochrome. And so I bought them. They were in my size too. They're the exact same shoe, the brand and everything. I bought them for like $6 or $7. And so I sold the ones that she got me and kept the other ones because I was gonna exchange them and then I didn't want to deal with it. So I basically got the exchange for free, and then I also got to sell my shoes. So interesting that that was my top selling item. So here are the pictures that I took of it. The box, shoes. This girl ended up buying them for her mom, which I thought was funny because my mom got them for me, and then this girl bought them for her mom. I didn't like really even clean the shoes. You can see they're kind of dirty, but they sold $110. So she paid $110 and I only got $76.78 out of it. I paid $11 to Depop, almost $11 on shipping, and she ordered it from Texas. Ordered it to Texas. And so the other two best-selling are both of these pairs of Jenko jeans. So one pair sold for $95 and I profited $74. The other pair sold for $88 and I profited $61. And I bought both pairs at the same thrift store the same day. Both of them were $7 and I was like, holy shit. They had a 32-inch waist. I think it was actually 34-inch label and it was 36 inches. So they were like too big on me, which was really sad because I like would have died to keep them. But anywho, I will show you what they looked like. Scroll down. So blah de blah. Here's one pair. So yeah, I actually did flat lays for these because they didn't fit me and I felt like it showed the details better. I also had this video trying to show some of the details because they are like a higher ticket item, so I wanted to like be super descriptive because if people are going to spend that much money, they want to know exactly what they're getting. So I had this video, you know, just showing all the deets. I've been, you know, a relatively lazy Depop seller, so you have the potential to make way more money than I have. You have the potential to make less if you want to be even lazier than me. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope that my tips and tricks have helped you. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment your Depop handle below, and I'll be sure to give you a follow and check out your page.